Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1641, How to Plan a Dream Vacation. Yes. First of all, we want to welcome everybody that's following us on Facebook, those following us on YouTube, and those that are tapped in live through TikTok as well. Oh, it's so much fun. Oh, I know, this technology stuff. Isn't that amazing? So this is one of my favorite topics that I like to talk about at least once a year, maybe twice, because people are always planning dream vacations. And right now is the time to be planning your vacation because it is what we call wave season. January, February, March, the first 3 months of the year are always our busiest months for booking vacations. You got people in the north that are wanting to escape, so they're wanting to go warm places, either in this year, right now, or later on in the year, they want to plan their vacation for next winter. And I've got people who are booking into 2025, and yeah, even on a world cruises, which leave in at the end in January, and they're gone for anywhere from 90 days to what's the longest one? About 4 months, I think it is. Anyway, so let's talk about how to plan a vacation first. So trying to determine where you want to go for vacations can be a daunting task, but it doesn't need to be. You can be totally adventurous and take a map out and throw a dart at it. And yes, I have clients that actually do this. They have a party. There's a group of people that travel together every year. They have a party. They put a world map on the fence, and they literally play pin the tail on the donkey. But in this case, it's taking the tail and pinning it on the world map. Wherever they get the most pins, that's the area that they look at to see that's where we're going to go. Sometimes they turn the map upside down because when, of course, they're reaching more for the northern hemisphere rather than the southern hemisphere. So sometimes they turn the world upside down so that they can pick like Australia, New Zealand, South America, South Africa, those countries that are below the equator, even into the Pacific Islands as well. Sometimes they let the kids choose the kids even get to have a go in there as well. So yes, there are people that pick their destinations by playing pin the tail on the donkey or pin. I don't even know what sort of pins they use, but they figure it out. And you can also ask a few simple questions, then speed dial your travel professional to help you narrow down your options and plans. So step 1 in planning your vacation, there are 10 questions that you need to answer before you call your travel professional. And these are important because if you just call your travel professional out of the blue, they are going to ask you these 10 questions. So to prepare you, these are the questions you're going to get asked. So to have some idea beforehand is totally awesome. So the number 1 question is, how much time do you want to spend traveling from where you live to where you want to go on vacation? Do you want your travel days to be included or excluded from your vacation days? For example, if you're taking a 7-day vacation, do you want to spend the whole 7 days on vacation plus travel time? Or do you want the 7 days to include your travel time, which cuts down on the number of days spent on vacation? If you have the time, we would recommend having the 7 days vacation plus travel time, especially if you are going across across the timeline, the international date line. If you're going across that, you definitely want to have your travel time outside of your time in the country you're going to. Like if you go to New Zealand, Australia, Japan, some of those other countries that are just the other side of the international date line, you're actually going to be like, if you leave on a Thursday, you're going to arrive there on Saturday. So you've already lost a day. But then when you leave, you get back before you can get back before you leave, and you'll be on the same day. So if you wanted to spend 2 weeks, so 14 days in New Zealand or Australia or one of the South Pacific Islands or Japan, then you want to make sure that you allow for that travel time in between, that travel time at the beginning and that travel time at the end, so you get the full 14 days there. Otherwise, you're actually only going to spend about 11 to 12 days of actual full days in that country. So you have to think about things like this. If it's going to take you a day if you decide to drive, that's question number 2. Do you want to drive or fly or sail? This will help narrow down the options when paired with question 1. So if you are driving, do you want to spend a day driving to your destination and then have 7 days at your destination? Or do you want that 7 days cut down to 5 days because you've got a day driving to get there and a day driving to get home? So you need to take these things into consideration. And also train will be another one too, because sometimes people just want to do train travel, which is totally awesome. I love trains. Have you been on a train trip? I have. It's been years since I've been on one that's had a sleeping car on it, though. Yes, I think I was 5. The last time I was I actually slept on a train was when I was 5. Who is traveling with you? Is it just you plus one, you and family, or you and the extended family? Is it just you and a group of friends? This can help your travel professional determine the type of places you want to go. If it's extended family, the possibility of group rates, dining and excursions and added amenities for groups are taken into consideration as well. If you're looking at going on a cruise ship, a group is at minimum 8 cabins, double occupancy. Doesn't matter if there's 3 or 4 people in the room, they just want that double occupancy, 8 cabins. So that's 16 people. And then what do you want to, and then so that's question number 3, how many are going and could you make it a group? And with groups, you can get group discounts. You can get added amenities taken to it. It could be onboard ship credits. It could be a cocktail party. It could be having group photos taken. There's all sorts of different things that you can experience on a cruise ship if you have a group booking. It could even be, a specialty dining thing as well. That could be thrown in there for you and your group. Number 4, what do you want to see and do when you're on vacation? This can be narrowed down by locations. If you want to ski, then sending you to Bora Bora to lay on the beach would not work. If you want to lay on the beach, sending you to Nepal or some other landlocked country ain't going to work either. So narrowing down what it is that you want to see and do on vacation can help also narrow down where you want to go. Where I'm up to. Number 5. This is information I have written down, so I'm losing my place a little bit. Number 5, what are some things you liked or disliked about past vacations? This will help your travel professional get to know you better and ensure you get the best vacation that fits you and your family, you and your friends, the group that's traveling with you. It'll help with that. What kind of accommodation do you like to stay in? And yep, this is important. If you like to stay in 5-star luxury, then booking a 3-star resort or hotel is not going to work. If you want centrally located, then out in the suburbs is not going to work either. I had a client one time who told me the type of hotels they wanted to stay in when they were in New Zealand. And I says, yep, we can do that. But when we gave them the package, and when we put these together, we give it to you as a package. So it includes everything that we talked about. There will be times when there are different prices, things are put in separately because they have to be paid separately. But when I'm doing customized tours to New Zealand and Australia, it comes in a package. So it's got the hotels in there. It's got the transportation in there, whether you're renting a car, whether you're going on public transportation, whether you're flying, it's all in that package. It's one price. We can't dissect it down and tell you what the prices are because we don't even know. We're just given the package by I send the stuff off to my vendor. They price everything for me and come back and go, here's the package. And trust me, they do it a lot cheaper than you can by yourself. We had one client where I gave them the quote of what it was going to be for them to do a customized trip to New Zealand. They wanted self-drive. They were going to go for 2 weeks. I had them and they wanted to stay 5-star luxury the whole way. They had a specific type of car they wanted to rent. So we had all of that included in the package. And it came to, because of what they wanted, and they were flying first class as well. They were flying business class on Air New Zealand. Business class on Air New Zealand is like first class on other airlines, just so that you're aware. It's really, really cool. They have lay flat beds and you get amazing, incredible service. Ask me how I know. I have traveled first class, business class to New Zealand on Air New Zealand. Absolutely love it. And the cool part is that you can be reclined in your seat with your feet up on your footstool or your ottoman during landing and takeoff. Everybody else has to be upright in their seats. Yes, but not in business class. Anyway, I digress. So this couple, we had them down. It was a $15,000 package. And I went back to them and says, are you ready to book? And they says, oh, my wife booked everything online and it was cheaper. I said, really? They go, yes. I says, well, that's interesting. I said, did you get on your rental card, did you get it with this, 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 and this? And they're like, no, we just got it with this. And I'm like, okay, our package pricing included these extra amenities like navigation, which are important, and included other benefits that they would get as well with the rental car. And I said, at the hotels you're staying with, did it include breakfast? No. Okay, well, you're going to be looking around $30 to $40 per person in New Zealand to have breakfast every morning then. And just even telling them this information up front didn't sway them. They had booked everything online. They got it cheaper. They ended up spending over $20,000 because they decided to go and book it themselves, and they hadn't compared apples to apples. Yes, we told them this was the hotel we were going to put them in, but we also included breakfast, and we included a couple of other amenities there at the hotel that they would have been charged for, which they were. So their price went up immediately because they didn't include breakfast in their bookings. They didn't include the other amenities that we had there for them, like hotel, like transfers and all that sort of stuff. They, I know, their rental car did not have the navigation system. They had to pay extra for that. We had it included. And like I said, when we get it included, we make it as inclusive as we possibly can. So they learned that one the hard way with that one. So yes, very different in booking styles as well. Now, here's another thing you have to watch. If you're booked into a 4-star hotel in Europe, or even a 3-star, some of those hotels in Europe that are 3 and 4-star are actually about what you expect for a 5-star here in the US. There is a different star system, US compared to Europe. So yes, that's another thing that we will take into account on that. If you want central, and then I had these other clients that turned around and said, they nitpicked at their thing. They go, oh, we're going to book this hotel here. And I says, no, you're not. They're like, why not? I says, you said that you wanted to be in Wellington, and you wanted to be easy walking distance to this, this, and this, and this. And they go, yes. I said, the hotel you have booked is right next, is just across the road from Parliament. It's right behind the New Zealand Postal Service's head office, and it's across the road from the railway station. I said, you are very much in the central of the central business district there. If you want a cup of coffee, you're going to have to walk several blocks to get a cup of coffee. And they're like, oh. I said, yes. I said, where we have you, you're 1 block away from this street here that has all of these different cafes and things along there. It's all in that particular area that's within easy walking distance of where you are. Plus, you wanted to go to this concert, which is here, which means you can walk from your hotel to the concert site. The other way that you're going to do, you're either going to have to take public transportation to get there, or you're going to have to drive your car and attempt to find parking. And they're like, oh. Then they came back and says, okay, well, in this city, we want to go here. And I go, no, you don't. And they're like, why not? I said, because you're going to be out in the middle of the suburbs and you don't have a rental car at that point. I said, so you're not going to have any way to get transferred around unless it's by taxi. I said, where I have you is within walking distance of the central area within that city where everything is, and you are just a block and a half from, what do they call it? iVisitor. They're the central, they're like information, they're like the central information places. And when you book from tours and stuff there in these places in New Zealand, they will have a lot of buses stop there to pick you up, to take you to on that tour or on that excursion and things like that. I said, it's I can't remember. I think it's iVisit or iVisitor. It's been a while since I've used them. And I said, so you're within a block and a half of this. I said, if you're out in the suburbs, you've now got to get back into town to get to these sites to then go on a bus to for this excursions you want to do. And they're like, oh. So having somebody that knows the area as well is key. So, do you want to be centrally located or out in the suburbs? Do you want land, sea? Do you want a land, sea, or river vacation, or a combination? This can help determine when you go, where you can go, and when you can go. For example, an Alaskan cruise has a small window from May through September. Skiing in New Zealand would be best June through August, as it's winter there. If you want to go to Hawaii, any time of the year is good. But remember, when kids are out of school, prices tend to be higher. So go when the kids are in school. That's always my thing. And I always tell Brad, if him and I ever had kids together, we never had any together, but I said, if we ever had kids together, I was homeschooling them and we were taking vacations when we wanted to. We were not going to be dictated by others when we were taking vacations when the prices were high. I thought that was a brilliant plan. He did too, to a point. Do you want to travel domestically or internationally? If going internationally, you will need passports, possibly visas, and maybe vaccinations, depending on where you're going. Your travel professional will help you determine what documentation you will need. Ensure you have at least 6 months valid on your passport from the date of return from your vacation. The country you visit sets the length of validation you will need on your passport. Some countries are only 3 months, but most, including cruise lines, require 6 months from the date of return. So if you fall under that, you may not be allowed to board your cruise ship. You may not be admitted entry into the country that you want to go to. So check that. And it is actually up to the client to make sure that their paperwork is all in order. All we can do is let you know these are the requirements. We give you the websites to go to so that you can go and verify it for yourself, what ones you need visas for, what ones you need passports for, and all of that sort of stuff. So if you're coming up on the 6-month mark on your passport, go get it renewed. And let me tell you, 2026 is going to be extremely busy for passport renewal, because that is the years that end in 6. It started in 2006. Yeah, 2006. There was something that came out around 2005, 2006, and I can't remember what it was, but there was a whole bunch of renewals at that time. Unfortunately, I got caught up in it because my citizenship, my naturalization was done in August of 2005. And by the time we got everything through to then go and apply for my passport, it was 2006 when it was issued. And I can't remember what it was around 2006 that required all this extra stuff. And there was a whole bunch of people getting their passports renewed. So when it came to 2016, I tried to get it done I got it done as early in the year as I possibly could. If you go to travel.state.gov, if you're here in the United States, they will tell you what the expected time is for passport renewals and things like that as well, whether you're getting them issued or whether it's going to. What is on your travel bucket list of places you want to go and things you want to see and do? This can help get some items crossed off. So if you wanted to go to, say, Rome and visit Vatican City, if you wanted to go to Rome and see the Colosseum, things like that, maybe there's stuff that's on your bucket list. So, and you want to go and visit Italy, then let's make sure we put Rome in there so that you can get these things crossed off your list. Maybe you want to go see the Leaning Tower in Pisa, so we can help you do that too. Make it one trip. Maybe you want to go to Vienna and go on a gondola ride. So we'll make sure those items get crossed off your list. And then number 10 is, what is your budget? This you need to be very realistic about. I have had people come to me and go, I want to go on a 14-day trip to New Zealand and I got $2,000 to spend. Yeah, well, do you realize your airline tickets are going to cost you $2,500 per person? Be realistic. Look up prices. Look around the time of year that you're traveling. If kids are out of school, prices, airfares, cruises, hotels, everything is going to be more. It's going to be higher. And this includes the country you are traveling to as well, not just here in the States, but if you're traveling to places like New Zealand and Australia, the South Pacific, well, not so much South Pacific, but New Zealand, yes, the South Pacific as well, because there's a lot of countries people go to on school vacations. Look to see when their schools are on vacation as well, because that's going to affect the pricing for when you go down to New Zealand. Very popular time to go traveling to New Zealand and Australia is November through February. But there's a 6-week span in the middle of all that goes across Christmas and New Year where the kids are out of school. They have summer vacation, usually starts about the week before Christmas and goes to the end of January. And then they're back in school again. So you need to take that into account when you're traveling down there, because prices are going to be extremely high, because most New Zealand and Australia are going to be on vacation at that time. They will be flying out to places like Fiji. They may be flying out to places like Fiji, the Cook Islands. What was that other one? Norfolk Island as well. So there's different places they may be flying to for school vacations and things like that. So prices are going to be higher because New Zealand and Australia will be on vacation. So you need to take those into account. So for example, remember, New Zealand and Australia are reverse seasons to the US as well. So if you are somebody who likes to do skiing and you want to do skiing, go down to New Zealand and Australia during Americans' summertime during your summer vacation, because there'll be winter down there and you've got some great skiing that can be done down there. And New Zealand has many ski fields and they're up to the grade that they have world championships, skiing championships held down there as well. Not only that, they also have a lot of the world ranked skiers that will go down there during the off season for training. When the season isn't open in the Northern Hemisphere, they will go down to New Zealand and train on their ski fields down there. So keep that in mind. And prices are typically lower at that time of the year as well. So yes, New Zealand is southern enough that we do get snow down there. People go, you get snow in New Zealand? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do. We got world-class skiing down there. Australia even gets snow in some areas as well. I'm not so sure on their ski fields, but I do know they have really good ski fields as well. Once you get out of, I think it's out of Sydney and Melbourne. I'd have to go look that up because I've never looked up the skiing in Australia before, but I know they do have it. So remember, opposite seasons. And I've totally lost my place here on my notes. So your travel professional will be able to help you sort this out as to where you want to go and when you want to go. Also, too, Africa at that time, too, that's below the equator line. They will be in winter at the same time that America's in summer. So there's some really good stuff that you can do down there with safaris and all of that sort of thing. So lots of good stuff. So those are the first. So step one is answering these 10 questions. How much time do you want to spend traveling from where you live to where you vacation? Do you want to drive or fly or take the train? Who's traveling with you? What is it you'd like to see and do when you're on vacation? What are some things you liked or disliked about past vacations? And this is an important question because we want to make sure that, you know, if you've got stuff that you disliked about the last one, we want to make sure that we don't put you on that cruise line again, or that we don't put you in that series of hotels again. So we want to know, and if you were doing a bus tour, then we want to make sure we don't put you on that bus tour company again as well. So there's that as well. What type of accommodations do you like to stay in? Do you want land, sea, or river vacation? Do you want to travel domestically or internationally? What's on your travel bucket list of places to go and things to see and do? And what is your budget? Those are the 10 questions that you need to answer before you do step 2. Step 2 is call your travel professional. Your travel professional will be able to, with the help of the answers above, sort through the thousands of options available to find the right vacation that will fit your wants, needs, budgets, and personality. And yes, we put personality in there as well. Different hotels cater to different personalities. Same with the cruise ships. They cater to different personalities. We're not going to put you on a party ship if you want peace and quiet and relaxation. And vice versa. If you're a party person, we're not going to put you on a ship that's going to give you a lot of rest and relaxation. So there are different ships, different cruise lines have different vibes, attract different people. And so if you're somebody that likes nightlife, we're not going to put you in a place that has no nightlife. Now, there may be, if you're doing like a self-drive tour, there may be some places that you come to where they really don't have a nightlife, but it's a stopover until you get to the next city. So just be aware, you will get a mixture of that. And then we also do like bicycle tours as well. Just putting that out there. And walking tours, bicycle tours and walking tours. We've got places that in Italy, they do walking tours where you get set off and you go this way if you want it nice and easy. You'll be walking for about 3 to 4 hours. You go this way if you want something a little more strenuous, where will include hills and will take you just a little bit longer, but you all end up at the same place that evening. And then we've got cycling tours, same thing. And I actually have one company where I had somebody ask, can I bring my own seat and pedals? And the answer was yes. So depending on where what countries you're cycling through, you can take your own seat and your own pedals to use on their bikes that they will provide you with. And we can even, and I've got a guy who who's very much into his cycling, and he had a look at the bikes that are provided by this travel company that does these cycling tours, and he was sort of like really impressed with what they had. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. If you're looking for a nice, quiet, romantic vacation, do you want a family-friendly, inclusive resort, or do you want the adult-only one? These are things that your travel professional will consider when helping you find the right place for your vacation. And I also have, well, where'd my other document go? I had another one open. Hang on. I switched partway through on one. So why work with a travel professional? We will not only save you time, money, and stress, but provide peace of mind by ensuring your hard-earned vacation is tailored exactly according to your wishes. We may not find the cheapest ones around there. In some cases, we may not find the cheapest, but we will get you the best value for your buck, biggest bang for the buck. We have exclusive deals from suppliers that we can pass along to people. We know exactly what steps to take to make sure your trip goes as smoothly and efficiently as possible. I have had clients, while they've been touring New Zealand, call me and say, hey, we want to make a change in our itinerary. We know we're supposed to be, when we get to this town, we know we're supposed to go on to this one and then do this, this, and this. We want to cut that one out and we want to head straight to this one. And we're like, okay. So I will call the vendor in New Zealand for them, even though they have all the information with them. I will call, get it taken care of, and call them back and say, it's sorted, you're done, you're good. And we listen and understand your travel needs, wants, and get to know you. We make personal recommendations based on the preferences of the very best travel experience to give you the very best travel experience, which is why if you come to me and say, I want to go to Ireland, or I want to go to Scotland, I want to go to England, I want to go to Europe, or this country in Europe, I have team members that I will refer you to that are specialists in those destinations. Those are destinations that, I've only been to a few places in Europe, not many, plan on changing that, but just a few. And so I don't have personal experience in those places. So what I like to do is make sure to get the best of the best. Yes, I've done all the training. I've done all the tourism stuff that they have. Tourism New Zealand has a whole certification program for travel professionals to do. It is very comprehensive. I mean, I even learned something about my own country going through that one, which was kind of cool because it's sort of like, I've been there. Didn't know that was there. So, there are some places in New Zealand I have not yet seen, and that's totally fine. It's a small country, but we got around most of it. And I said I've been to about 90% of the country, which would still be accurate. So when it comes to countries I haven't been to, yes, I can probably do a vacation for you there. Would it be the best? Probably not, because I'm going off what I have learned from their tourism centers and things like that. If I've got somebody who wants to go to Ireland, I have somebody that was born and raised in Ireland. So I can send them, I can have that team member work with you on booking your Irish travel, your trips to Ireland, knowing that you're going to get the best of the best because they know all the little secrets. They know all the out of the way places to go that will give you the best experience rather than just all the tourist hotspots. I'm that way with New Zealand. With some of Australia, I haven't been to all of Australia. I've only been to Sydney and Melbourne. So those two places, I can definitely give you that. And then the Cook Islands I can do as well because I've been there. I've toured them and stayed there and had some amazing experiences on the Cook Islands. But other ones I'm also learning about as well with the thought of going and visiting those islands in the near future. Near future being in the next couple of years, just because there's so much to see and do. So when it comes to, if you want to go to Ireland or Europe, I've got friends who wanted to go to Italy. I can do an okay vacation, but with what they wanted to do and see and things like that, I had somebody who has been to Italy multiple times and is a very experienced person with Italy. So that team member is now working with those friends of mine to give them an amazing vacation when they go to Italy. So depending on what you want to see and do, we can be that referral partner for you to get you to the person that will work the best with you, to give you the best trip that you want and give you the experiences that you want. If you just want to go be a tourist, that's fine. We can set that up, no problem at all. But if you want to get off the beaten path and go to places that people don't know about, then we can arrange that too. And for those that go to New Zealand, I actually have a full unfoldable map of New Zealand where I highlight your route on there if you're going to be doing the self-driving one. Thank you for the rose. McHammer, thank you. I just got a rose on TikTok. That's really cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now I totally lost my train of thought. So I have a map in New Zealand that I will actually highlight your route on that map. And then I will put in little notes of stop here to check out this view, or stop here for this, stop here for that, different places around on their routes that they're taking that would be of interest to them. So we also include stuff like that. And then we give you all the maps and everything else that you're going to need during that time. Plus, with your rental car, you will get the navigation system, which will help you get around New Zealand. And we even send you to the website that tells you how to drive on the other side of the road with the steering wheel on the other side of the car. Because I know in New Zealand, we are reverse to what we are here in the United States. So we try to make sure that that happens. So that's it from me for tonight. If you want to learn out more about New Zealand, just go to HaveToGoNewZealand.com. That's HAVE, the number 2, GoNewZealand.com. And you'll be able to set up a discovery call with us to talk about trips to New Zealand, Australia, or the South Pacific. And with that, we are out of here for this evening. Hope you've all had a super fantastic sparkling day. Go out, give somebody a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.